Hello everyone, my name is Webweaver and welcome back to It's Look Who It Is. So I haven't raided yet. That's about in an hour, probably a little bit longer. Actually no, it's actually we moved our time. So I actually have way more time than I thought I was. We when we get to phase 2, we only raid for one whatchamacallit, because by the time we would get to like by the time our instance would expire, we would only have about like maybe 20 minutes, 30 minutes, so we delayed our raid time. So I'm actually like we don't raid anytime soon. I got plenty of time. But I did not. It's Look Who It Is. I did not go into Party Finder. I did not win P11S. And listen. Instead of it's all about mindset, okay? Instead of having the narrative that the white mage is lazy and not gearing properly for the final fight in the tier, you should have the mindset of our white mage is statistically average with underpowered gear. So we're just gonna leave it at that. You know, my median preference average is like 34, 35. My best in phase 1 of P12S is, I think historically it's 54, but I think now it's 52. I'm not entirely sure, but it's above 50. It's blue. I think that's okay. I think that's okay. For using the shitty chess piece still. I think we're gonna play a Moriko run. I'm in the mood for a Moriko run. We'll run the class of 1980X, and we'll see where the roads take us. Hopefully not closed roads, because that would be increasing our doom. Hopefully they're open roads, and we can walk them with relative ease. I'm thinking we're gonna heat things up. I think it's a Thutu time. Curious birthmark, huh? We have both the olds in our inventory. I don't know why I said it like that, but we do. Old shotgun, old coin, second enemy, strength, dexterity, charisma. And honestly, I'm gonna be real with you, we gotta remember our seconds of each. And we got a final boss. Thankfully it's not knowledge, but you know, dexterity and charisma kind of suck. Well, actually, no, knowledge would be objectively better. Strength and knowledge are your two highest stats. Oh my god. Well, I mean, tied with perception. They're all tied with each other, but dexterity, you don't like to see dexterity. That sucks, and you don't like to see charisma because that also sucks. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I kind of just want to take a nap. But I do not want to record later, and by that I mean I'm gonna record later. It's just I want to, like, try to encourage myself to get a backlog going. So I tried to record earlier last night. I'm recording during the evening now, and I'm gonna try to record before I go to bed as well. Get a little bit of a backlog going, just a little bit. But, see, I'm trying to think. I don't think we need to get the Tainted Violin. I think we should go Compass. I think we should go Flashlight. If we can get a Flashlight for free, though, from painting, I'm not gonna say no. But I think we go, like, Mystery 1 in town, buy some sort of item, preferably a compass, then go painting, if it's there. That's just assuming if it's there. I'll use the library notes once, but I don't want to discard them. Enthrallment is actually very interesting, don't get me wrong. I don't want to do Doom or Moriko, just give me EST 65. And I think we're gonna roll. How do I want to play this? I'm not entirely sure. Well, actually, I'm pretty sure what we're gonna do. I just laid out the plan. I don't know why I just said that. I saw Moriko very briefly on the TV. It's Look Who It Is. It's Moriko. Recluse, arms, ward, footage. Okay. Metamorphosis is really bad, but we actually could do it early and just shoot twice, right? That doesn't sound too terrible. But we are getting hit once, because we need to prep the shot. Yeah, we could just, we could just shoot once. I think we go Metamorphosis first. I think that's one of the blatant advantages that Moriko has, that we can take advantage of. Now, I think you still want to run it like this. Is this minus perception? Yes, it is. We're using the old coin to get rid of hallucinations. That is completely unhinged, and normally you would never do that, but we have a perception weapon, and we are the one character that values our perception stat, so we might as well. Now, this is a reroll situation. Like, I don't really... Do we get a sewing kit? Like, do I just say, like, oh, sewing kit's good enough? Is it? Is it really good enough to avoid rerolling? Because rerolling is horrible. But I would rather just get the compass, honestly. We bought a new item, woof. And what we'll do... I almost want to sell... I'm going to sell the library notes. But I was thinking about selling the handcuffs and keeping the library notes. And I'm glad I did not use enthrallment, because that would be a little bit bad. Now this is... I would rather take this... Yeah, I would rather take the stamina damage. It's a little bit sketchy. But I'm thinking banger. I'm falling off my chair here. I am sliding too far down the chair. But, yeah, the only way that the double uploading will work is if I just consistently pre-record. I do at least two, like, if I do if I pre-record some videos, and then I do, like, 2 videos every night, which is totally doable, then I edit the one video that I need to edit because I got other stuff uploaded in the backlog. Like, 2 videos recorded, 1 video edited, that's totally doable. That's totally doable. And I haven't had to really do anything too crazy yet. Like, I'm looking at this, I'm thinking about this. I think we confront. I think that's what we wanted to do. The mansion has a pretty high threat level, so I think we're gonna go ahead and toss the police over there, just because, like, we take less damage, and we're gonna be in between the mansion and the seaside for a little bit. So, I think we can kind of just hang out. We can kind of just hang out. We can kind of just chill. We can get a free funny mask moment, even. Now, what I would like to see is... So this is our second enemy, right? Because did we fight something already? Hold on. I'm hallucinating. Okay, so this is our first enemy. Now, this is a really bad enemy, and so we're gonna run away. And then our second enemy is gonna be the Medusa thing. And we're gonna have to fight this. But that was the entire point of this. We got here explicitly so we could kill the enemy. Now, do I get greedy here? Yes, I do get greedy here. We save 1 bullet because this works out exactly. Now, we did take 4 damage, but that's why we went in with full health, and that's why we did this first. So, Meat Horror is the name of the enemy. Meat Horror is the name of the enemy. Now, I don't really know if I'm gonna remember that, but hopefully I won't just think, Medusa enemy, and then I click, like, Leech Girl or something. It could happen. It could happen. I think we take the EXP here. I don't really know, admittedly. We need to remember the second mystery. Residential Recluse. I'm kind of curious to do Residential Recluse early, but we just don't have the knowledge for it. I feel like we would need, like, 8 knowledge to do this mystery, like, confidently. Like, that's the goal anyways, but, like, this just sucks. Residential Recluse is, like, something you have to play the whole run around. I think we could go... I almost want to do Ward, because we saved the other shotgun shell. We're gonna do Ward, because I saved the other shotgun shell. Now, this could be throwing. I don't actually remember what the hospital's whatchamacallit is. We searched those. But I guess we're about to find out. It's 1% Doom. Now, Branded Like Cattle. Branded Like Cattle is so bad, and I was thinking about it. I think it's because, like, the hospital event pool is so small, right? Like, I can, like... There's actually not a lot of events in each location, but I think the hospital has the least, and there are so many from the hospital that are just, like, really bad. So, you know. Well, there's one way to solve this. Pretty good, pretty good. Yeah, I can't complain about that. So it was it was dexterity and charisma, and I think strength? Not that that particularly matters. I'm actually going to put a point into perception because we need our perception to be higher. We need some sort of leverage. Oh, Iwa! Okay, you know, listen, I sometimes World of Horror decides that you lose, sometimes World of Horror decides that you win. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what to say. Sometimes the game says you lose, sometimes the game says you win. What is there for me to comment on there? What is there? Now, the fact that that happened is just awful. Like, that's Iwa and 8% Doom in a single mystery. Stranger things have happened, for sure. But, you know... Oh, hell yeah, we rolled a 5 with a threat modifier of 0, so even if we didn't level up our perception, we still would have been perfectly fine. Let's look who it is. Yeah, the hospital just has so many horrible events that I'm just looking at it, and it's like... The hospital is like a super dangerous area. Which is not particularly something that you want to hear out loud as like a statement of fact on the record, but you know. I mean, I think this is fine, right? I don't know if we could have maybe blocked. I'm kind of taking this philosophy on of like, if we get hit once by the if we get hit once by the boss and kill them within 2 turns, that's like we win those almost. Now let me check just to make sure. It was strength, right? Yes. So we do need to get strength to 8, and Iwa is gonna make that actually possible. Found footage, abnormal arms, recluse. What the hell is recluse doing here, man? I'm gonna need to put 2 points into knowledge and get... Maybe we fish for the thing that gives you +1 knowledge at the history club, the idol or whatever, the thingy that you hold. Do we have a mansion mystery? We do not. Actually, found footage, does that make you go to the mansion twice? Yeah, we're gonna do found footage. Because if we can go to the mansion twice and then kill Billy Mays, that's not what I was looking for, admittedly. That's not what I was looking for, admittedly. It's true. I think we have to do it like this, because yes, it is a lower chance. He's gonna heal. The Pillar Vampire is gonna heal, so you've got to do something like that. And then I think that we just run it back, but this time, we can guarantee it, right? Right? Or do we do... I think we do 97% chance again, just because it's a 97% chance, you know? I think we can make that work. Because then we can guarantee it here, even if they heal. But yeah, if we could just fight Billy Mays and get that +1 knowledge item, that would be great. That'd be fantastic, even. Folklore studies? Folklore studies? That is not folklore studies. We're going to take Daddy's Girl, because it's a really strong healing perk. And then we're going to go to the History Club and get the thing that I was just talking about. Oh, god damn it. No, I'm not. The glass eye is not worth it. It turns out that taking a bunch of stamina and sanity damage for the sole purpose of getting +1 perception, a bad stat, is not typically worth it, even if your character uses perception. It's metal as hell, though. That is true. It is metal. And what we can do here, okay, what we can do here is we can take some stamina... Excuse me, we can take some stamina damage. And then... Oh, okay. Hold on. Hold on. We can go back to the History Club because I'm on... Look who it is. I'm on Copium. Then we can rest twice because I'm on Copium. And then hope that we win the game. I think this is winnable. We can return to the investigation. That's all good. Now, this is a little bit dangerous, but the forest is safe, you know? The forest is safe. Nobody could really complain. Now, we're not at the point where we can attack twice yet, unfortunately, but we can guarantee that that's doing 7 damage. And then we can take you out back and beat you to death with a shovel. And by a shovel, I mean an old shotgun that doesn't have any shells in it. Oh my god, that was beautiful. Incredible. Amazing. We're not playing around holy glyphs, but we're also not playing around misery worms, you know? We take those. So, can we get 10 EXP? Yeah, I think we go ahead and do Recluse now, right? Because we have a lot of health to play around with. We've got the funny mask, we've got a spell. We just need to get... Oh yeah, we have the compass. It's absolutely gonna happen. We're delirious. Anything to preserve. Anything to preserve our goddamn, Oh, we can take a hot bath, that's fine. We could, with the power of Iwa, we could probably take a cold bath. He would be there on the sidelines cheering us on. You know, like, hang in there, Moriko, you got this. Iwa would be a supportive friend. He would... I don't know how he's here, because the whole point is that we're trapped in our apartment. But if this is like a friend hangout session, but like you're trapped in the apartment and then you can't leave, Iwa would be on the other side of the door cheering you on, telling you to imagine your inner fire, your inner blaze. I don't know where I'm going with this, but Iwa would be a supportive friend. He would support you in that. Okay, so +1 knowledge. We're gaming. Read the letters, lose our money. We're gonna have to sell a jar of blood. So be it. But if Iwa isn't trapped in here with us, he would be on the phone with us, saying like he would be like, we would put the phone on speaker, and I don't know if the phone's cord could go that far into the bathtub, but or near the bathroom. I don't know why I was gonna say kitchen. The phone's probably in the kitchen. But if the cord could go that far, we would leave him on speaker. He would shout. He is like the guy who's like, you know, the never give up guy, you know? I think he was like a fisher, or like a... I don't want to say like a crustacean guy, but like he was doing stuff in the water, you know? And he was telling you that you should never give up. It went viral, it was a big thing. I probably don't know what it is. We do a little bit of minus stamina as a treat. And then we waste another day. We waste those, chat. We waste those. I mean, it's not like you can really get in. But we'll take the doom, because this is gonna be a little bit rough. Okay. Prepare for combat. 5 sanity is so bad. 5 sanity is so bad. Oh no. Oh no. Oh wow, 9. Crazy. I think we actually do this so that we can heal 1 sanity. I think that's fine. Regain... Actually, hold on. Ah, that would be actually useful! I don't think the stuffed toy is gonna help us out too much here. Yeah, no, that would be actually useful. I'm sorry I thought of it. Being able to scavenge for a goddamn weapon. Okay, I mean, you just want to regain 1 reason and then, like, throw the funny mask, I guess? Gonna pay you this much money to F off, so true. So, I think we just do it again? Do I do an offering? I mean, if only we could, like, interact with the game on any level besides severing and paying the roommate to frick off. Paying your roommate to leave you alone. That's probably a horror story for a lot of people. And also, there was a, what was it, that one movie that I watched a long time ago where it was like, I don't really remember it that much. I probably talked about it when we were on the laptop Scotland arc. It was this one movie where this like teenage, was it a teenage girl, like a young woman? She came to like live with this family, and then she did all like the tenants' rights things. It was basically like a horror movie to scare like rich families who own big houses and would do, like, a kind act to have a stranger stay over at their house, like, once, you know? It's a kind of horror movie to scare exactly that kind of person. And it was like she starts getting, like, her mail delivered to the house. She, like, breaks into the house and then pretends she lives there, and then she has, like, tenants' rights or whatever. It was a really dumb movie, and I cannot remember how it ended. I think it ended with, like a gunfight, but it was like I was watching it on TV, so obviously all the violence was edited out of it, which is still wild to me, by the way, and it really made me forget, like, how... Like, I'll never forget the Imposter Aunt movie. Yes, that's a throwback. Where the ending... Where normally in, like, the movie, if you watch it, there's, like, a fight scene. But in the TV... I was gonna say made-for-TV version. But no, in the TV edit. Because they can't show that they can't show, like, two people fighting on TV because that would be weird or something. It would be, like, immoral or whatever. How they do it is it's basically like a goddamn FNAF jump scare, and then they just cut out the entire, like, ending conflict of the movie, right? So, how it normally goes, right? Like, how this scene normally goes, spoiler for a movie that you probably haven't seen, probably never will see, and was really bad, is that the imposter aunt is hunting for the girl in her house, trying to kill her, and the aunt, she finds the kid, she jumps on her, starts beating the crap out of her, they scuffle for a little bit, then the kid, and I'm saying kid, but she's, like, an adult actress, but she's playing, like, a teenager, you know? She, like, kicks the aunt off, grabs a metal pipe, and, like, beats the aunt, you know? The evil is defeated. And what ends up happening in the TV cut that I watched was the aunt, like, it cuts to the aunt, like, it cuts right as the aunt is lunging at the teenage daughter girl character, the main character, and then it cuts immediately to that character on the ground, because, like, they were scuffling on the ground and the teenager was trying to crawl away. So it cuts to her on the ground, and then she grabs, like, a metal pipe, and then she FNAF jump scares the aunt, and then and what I mean by that is if you've ever seen a FNAF jump scare, like, Freddy will just kind of, like, get in your face and be like, ah, you know? Like, that's basically what it is the aunt FNAF jump scares. So it's like the Vanny white woman jump scare. And then it abruptly jump cuts to the main character on the ground with a metal pipe. She gets up, and then her version of the FNAF jump scare starts, and then the aunt is being carted away by the police or something in handcuffs. It's so funny. It's almost like a YouTube poop edit, almost. And it makes me feel like that some of that humor that we have on, like, sort of older, more amateurish YouTube stuff is sort of like a satire of that, maybe even, like, unintentionally, because that's how it was cut. Like, obviously that movie came out in, like, what, like 2018, 2016, 2017, something, so it's not like an old movie, I should say, and it's like, I don't want to call it new, because, you know, it was like 5 or 6 years ago, but 7 years ago, if it was, yeah, depending on when that movie came out. So it's not like a new movie either, but, like, you know, that's just how stuff was cut back then. You know, you would watch something like that, and that's just how it would go. That's just how it would be, you know? That's just how it would happen. And so I think we're just gonna do that. We're just gonna do that. You don't heal, right? Do I want to get rid of holes? Or... I mean, I guess it just gets canceled out by Daddy's Girl, right? I mean... yeah, you know what? Let's get rid of holes. I think it'd be fun. Let's actually use the stuffed toy for something in our goddamn lives. And then we just sever twice, and that's it. Such a weird fight. The Recluse is very good from, like, a storytelling standpoint. I am not treading new ground here. I'm pretty sure I'm treading, like, YouTube comments y'all have left here. But, like, Recluse is not very, like, Recluse is disappointing because it's thematically very interesting and it's awesome that it's like a scripted mystery, right? Like, I think that's really cool. Like, it's a scripted mystery, right? Do I have Discord not on? That was mine. That was mine, sorry. That was mine, and I have no idea where the notification was from. None of the servers that I frequent have any notifications, and I do not have a private message at all. We're just gonna quit Discord. Okay, my mistake, my bad. That was not your Discord, it was mine. Unless your Discord simultaneously got pinged at the exact same time mine did, or afterwards. Because I only got pinged once, and then I closed Discord, so if you've heard multiple pings, and you haven't rewound the video, then somebody is trying to contact you on Discord, and it might be important if they're spam pinging you. Alas. The thing with Recluse is that the interactivity isn't really there on the player's end. Because it's like, do you know the ghost combination? Yes, no. And then, would you like to try to find out the ghost combination? Yes, no. And if the answer to both of those is no, then it is just sever or pay the ghost money to leave you alone. And unfortunately, that's just sort of how it goes. And I would actually really be interested to see how viable it is to, like, ghost puzzle your way, like Einstein House ghost puzzle your way. That's also a throwback, out of learning the ghost combination. Because obviously, if you know the ghost combination beforehand, like you have, like, school scissors or something. Oh god, is the last mystery school scissors? Am I dumb? If you have, like, a timeline B school scissors, then obviously it's just it's free. But it's not really free because you still take 5 damage. But, I don't know. I think my disappointment, and I've said this before, so we're not only are we treading comment ground, which that does not, in the way that I said that, that sounds derogatory, and I did not mean it that way at all. But, like, we're treading, like, comments discussion ground, and then stuff I've already said before, because I'm bound to repeat myself, like, 80 million times, because that's just, look who it is, you know? That works on so many levels on what I was just trying to say right there. But here's the deal, right? Like, it feels like a lot of the mysteries have, like, these really, really cool setups, and then the ending is just boss fight. Boss fight. That's it. Like, it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good. And okay, it's arms, thank God. If it was school scissors, and it could potentially be timeline B, I would feel so silly, because obviously that's the tech, right? But, like, it just feels like you have all these cool mysteries that have all these neat, like, themes and interesting stories, and you're like, ooh, this is getting me immersed. And then at the end, you know it's going to be a mandatory well, maybe not a mandatory boss fight, but it's going to be a boss fight, and the boss is going to do nothing interesting, because the game can interact with the player on a more interesting level if they make a, like, puzzle fight, like something truly evil, or something that is not combat. Because the basic formula for combat in this game is, the more you play it, the more you will realize, like, okay, this is what happens, this is what happens, this is what happens. You know what I mean? So, I feel like, and this is maybe, I think we'll just take the coughing. Do I want to take coughing blood here? Is it worth it? Yeah, it's worth it. It's worth it. That's fine. Because then we can go here. I mean, this is not good, don't get me wrong. But it's, like, fine, I guess. Maybe I should have sold the compass. 71% Doom's a little sketchy, but I remember my seconds, I'm pretty sure. It was, like, meat horror? I don't know. Like, when Panstash is cooking, and he can make something, like, really, really interesting and really, really engaging, like, it's really good, you know what I mean? Like, it really does feel good. Some of the mysteries in this game, even though they're a little wackier out there, the interactivity, even if you don't ever do the interactivity on higher difficulties, the interactivity is still really fun, right? Like, there's still some really neat stuff in this game. You know, I swear to God, I'm trying to praise the game. 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 We don't get... By the way, fun fact, enemy encounter is not investigated, apparently. World of Horror fan excited to play World of Horror for the first time. So we're actually having -10 accuracy because that was a fight that was a ghost that did 5 damage a turn, and we potentially just went into a boss fight with it when at level 4 when we could have been level 5. Nothing to feel salty about at all, by the way. Just you know, just a little despair, just a little sadness. But when Panstash is doing like, because here's the thing, when you make a system like this, there is a limited amount of interactivity. When you make any system, okay, this is very important. When you make any gaming system, there is a limit to what the player can do, right? Which is why games like Hollow Knight I really like. Because when you're playing Hollow Knight, or like Metroidvanias in general are a great example, right? Because when you're playing Hollow Knight, at the beginning of the game, what can you do? You can attack with your nail, and you can jump. And so if you go into a room that has a solution to something, and you attack with your nail, and you jump, and you cannot reach that solution, that means you're not ready for that room yet. That means that you have no business being in that room, because your limited ability, well, you can also shoot like an energy ball, right? And charge your energy to heal yourself, but you get what I mean, right? When a player has limited ways to interact with the game, you can foreshadow and hint things in the future by letting them interact in an area that they don't have the tools to go through yet. And so that's one of the reasons why Metroidvanias are really nice, is because they can show you that, and it's like, ooh, there's some weird puzzle in this room, but I don't have the key yet, you know? There's some sort of thing I'm missing. And so that's what makes it really interesting. And so for World of Horror, obviously World of Horror is not a Metroidvania, I was just using that as an example to set the scene. In World of Horror, there's only so many ways we as the player can interact with specific things, right? And one of those ways that we can interact with things is clicking. There are point-and-click elements in this game, but unfortunately, the point-and-click elements don't really do much unless they very specifically do for very specific things. And I think that that's a damn shame. I would love it, even if the result would be a free mystery that you just do correctly 100% every time. I would really like a mystery that is just point-and-click. I think that would be really cool. It's possible. There are elements of it in painting that are really neat, but they don't really have any gameplay at all, and you can't really, like, okay. Look at the painting mystery, okay? The painting mystery is you go to a mansion in the middle of the woods, you meet someone at that mansion who is an ally, and you explore that mansion, and you try to get to the bottom of the mystery, right? It would, or something like Vigil. Okay, I'm cooking here. These mysteries are linear. There is a starting and a stopping point, and you are going from point A to point B with investigations in between, okay? But what if we had something more like Freaky Flood, where you can explore the area, and the areas that you explore change the ending? I know that's a lot of work, but that is where, in my opinion, the game could potentially shine. And it's also something that you do with Fear Festival too. The areas that you investigate in Fear Festival affect the ending. Did you investigate the forest enough times to successfully get to the objectively better ending, to get to the factory on time? That's what I'm trying to say. So you get to see the cool occult stuff happen. And that's something that I don't think that this game leans into enough, because both Fear Festival and Flood are, I believe, really interesting thematic mysteries. I think they're really neat, because they are mysteries with an area that you can explore, and you have a time limit to do so. Now, of course, those get optimized to hell and back to the point where it's like, it essentially becomes that, you know, A through B with investigations in between. However, you have to plot those routes. And, depending on your situation, you might want to go for something different. So these, like, I do think, in hindsight, Flood was kind of a red flag for the next updates when it comes to mystery design. But also, I just wish World of Horror leaned into sort of more, like, point-and-click elements, sort of more, like, I don't know, man. Like, would it be impossible to, with the UI and the heads-up display, to give us some sort of, like, dungeon crawler thing? Like, because you kind of have that with the tile mysteries, where you just click a tile and then you see where you go. Something like that would be so nice, because whenever this game leans into anything that is not, like, specifically linear, I think it makes something more interesting. Even if it inevitably becomes, this is the correct route for Fear Festival to get the best whatever, it still has options, it still has things to discover, to do, it still has tech, you know? And so, I don't know. I think that, the problem that I have with some mysteries is just, like, they have really interesting premises, but then they just kind of end in, like, generic boss battle with no interactivity other than fight the boss. Because every time this game does something that is, like I'm still thinking about mermaids. Like, mermaids is cool. You can, like, let's run it through mermaids, okay? Let's run through the flow chart for the mermaids boss. We're all over the place. We were talking about mysteries, now we're talking about bosses. But just, like, whenever the game lets you do something that is not standard combat, I think the game is better off for it, because it creates more things to think about, and it creates more options for the player. Because this is, like, a horror game where the odds are against you, and a lot of the mysteries devolve into stat-stick bosses that you just beat to death with a high-damage weapon, you know? Whereas you know, like, if you want to treat this as, like, an eldritch horror game, what is a more expecting experience? Like, using your wits to outmaneuver and, like, barely save your own life from an eldritch monstrosity? Or, oh yeah, I'm playing the Doomslayer girl. She has a shotgun, but it doesn't have any ammo in it, but that's fine because it's a better club anyways. And she just beat God to death with her bare hands. You know, like, we have more of beating gods to death with our bare hands than we do, like, trying to just barely scrape by and, like, do some crazy, like, jamming, like, an iron pipe into the ribcage monster so that it shuts down or something, you know?
Oh, sorry. Suddenly, somewhere, Emmerdale seems to have disappeared. We'll go back to it as soon as we can, once we've found it.
Alright, we're back. I don't remember what I was talking about. Something about mysteries and bosses. You know, Emmerdale. You never know what Web's gonna be like after an Emmerdale. But, I guess, like, I think I was talking about bosses, but, like, compare Mermaid Man to Meat Horror that we fought in this episode, right? If you're playing on Timeline A, what you can do, well, we'll go over the Omni timeline stuff first. You can fight the boss with stat sticks. You can use a tool to pry open a manhole cover. You can topple a lamp to permanently affect another mystery, give yourself a status effect, and skip the fight. And then for mystery-specific stuff that you could do, you can, if you're on Timeline A, if you have the Innsmouth curse to where you're becoming a fish person, effectively you'll be spared. You'll skip the fight, right? And then if you're on Timeline B, what you can do is if you have an ally, you can give the ally to the mad janitor to skip the fight. Oh, hello, dog. Hello, I see you. You're being grabbed. You're being grabbed by the ghoulie. I don't know why I said that, but here we are. It's Look Who It Is, bumped into the microphone. Hello, dog. Hello. Would you like to go on your chair over here? Here you go. You can go on your chair over here. So you can either, like, you can sacrifice one of your allies to the mad janitor to skip the fight, or you can agree to go with the mad janitor yourself, and you take a doom penalty for that, but you can skip the fight. Like, that stuff is so dope. But then Meat Horror, how do you get rid of Meat Horror? How do you deal with Meat Horror? You beat him to death. And so you're missing a lot of interactability and a lot of, like, player choice that is present in other mysteries. And I like that. I like the player choice. And I like, even if you're always going to do the optimal of the player choice, having stuff that players can discover and experiment with is a lot of fun. And so hopefully, whatever updates or DLC or whatever the hell we end up getting, hopefully, it has more player interactability. It was Meat Horror. I remember Meat Horror. I was just talking about that guy. I was just talking about its Look Who It Is. And I don't know. I just wish that the game had more of that. Because here's the thing. Yes, we will pick the correct option TM once we figure out what it is. Because the game's brutal. You know, we don't really... Playing the game normally on, like, a hard difficulty... We don't have the luxury of picking bad options. But if you're a new player playing the game for the first time, you can pick the bad option if you want to. You probably will. If you're running something like, you know, not Fear Festival, sorry. If you're running something like Bulletin Board or well, I guess with Fear Festival because you can choose where you go, right? If you run like Fear Festival, Bulletin Board, Mermaids, you can choose bad options and then your run can continue because you're playing on an easier difficulty. But like, that stuff's just fun, you know? Oh god. I don't know, what did we do first? I think we did Medusa first to shoot Meat Horror, and then I'm gonna get this wrong. Actually. Freaky Feature? Oof, that's fine. Didn't matter. It didn't matter, we're good. Coughed a little bit there, that's fine. Thanks for watching, stay safe out there. Have a good one, I'll see you on the next episode of World of Horror. Hopefully my raid goes well. Apparently I'll be going to raid in like a little bit. I got plenty of time though. So stay safe out there, have a good one. Today is the Wednesday episode, so that means the Lethal Company with Kiwi, the weekly quota Wednesday, that'll be up soon, so enjoy that. And thanks for the support on the RimWorld video. The RimWorld video absolutely popped off beyond my wildest dreams. It might get to 1,000. It might get to 1K. By the time you're watching this video, it might already be at 1K. But, you know, after the first 48 hours, videos tend to, like, fall off on viewership numbers pretty drastically. So, like, 800 is still pretty cool, you know? But anyways, thanks so much for watching. My name has been Webweaver. Stay safe out there. Have a good one. Bye.